This is the Theraface Depuffing Wand, and in today's video I'll talk about what this device does, I'll talk about some of the specifications and features of it, and then I'll provide my overall thoughts after using the device. So to start off, I want to talk about what this device is. They call it a depuffing wand, which is the major function of it. It is designed to reduce puffiness in your face. It's also designed to help increase the elasticity and firmness of your skin. It essentially has a metal applicator that both heats up and cools down, and that, depending on what function you're using on, has a few different benefits. So we'll talk about what comes with the device next, which is really just this device. You get this, you also get a charging cord, and you do get a user manual. The device itself looks like this. So you do have the Therabody branding here on one side, you got Theraface Depuffing Wand on the other, you have this rose gold metal accent ring, you have some venting from a fan on the bottom, and then you have a snowflake and a flame icon just to indicate the cold and hot functions. Now this top piece does also have the Therabody logo sort of etched into it, and this is just a cap on it. So you do have the metal applicator that I mentioned earlier. You sort of have this teardrop shape to it, sort of looks like a makeup sponge in the shape that it comes to a point. And then you have some more venting fans and an LED light. Now the overall size of this device is really quite small. It only weighs 3.95 ounces or 119 grams. And in terms of the size of it, I would compare this to a very small flashlight. I'd say it's a little bit bigger than a thing of pepper spray, but bigger than a glue stick, but smaller than a traditional flashlight. So you see, compared to my hand here, it is relatively small. Also, to compare it in size to my iPhone, it is the exact same height as my iPhone 14. So just to give a size comparison there. Now it is a battery powered device, so that USB-C cord that I mentioned earlier that it comes with, that just plugs into the end. It is a USB-C to USB-C cord. The battery life on this is just going to be 38 minutes. It took me about an hour and a half to charge this directly out of the box. It did have some charge to it already, but 38 minutes, it's not a super long battery life, but it's going to be able to get you about 6 uses out of it before you're going to need to recharge it again. Now when it comes to turning the device on, all you need to do is long press one of the 2 buttons on it, and you'll see it does light up. Now it does have 6 different temperature settings. So on the heat setting here, this lowest setting is going to be 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius. You just quick press the button again, you'll see it flashes, and it'll light up a little bit brighter, as well as this LED ring on the top. So this second one is going to be 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. And then the third is going to be 108 degrees Fahrenheit or 42 degrees Celsius. And the one thing you'll notice with this is that it immediately starts to heat up. It's very warm immediately as soon as you put it on your face. Now I have this on the hottest setting right now, which is 108 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's definitely noticeably warm, but it's not warm enough that's going to burn your face. Now when you do have this warm setting on, there's really 4 things that they claim that using this on a regular basis can help with. First is that it'll help enhance the radiance of your skin. The second is that it'll help increase lymphatic drainage. The third is that it'll help reduce tension in your face and in your temples. And then lastly, it'll help increase your skincare product absorption. So when you are using it on the warm setting, they just say to use it gently in massaging motion across your face. So no real rhyme or reason how to do it, just kind of go where it feels good. It will go for 3 minutes. So just stick to one side of your face for 3 minutes. Once you get to that 3-minute mark, this LED light is actually going to flash, indicating that you can go to the other side of your face. And then it'll have an auto shut off at 6 minutes. Now what's really nice about this is that it does have that teardrop shape to it, which makes it really easy to get in by the corners of your eyes, the outer edges of your eyes, really help get with the contours of your face, up in between the eyes and the lower part of your forehead here. And that point just really helps you get to a lot of different unique places, get the side of your nose, into your eye socket here, all at that point, really nicely. Now in order to switch over to the cold function, you just long press the cold function, the snowflake button here, and you'll see it changes colors to blue. There is a quiet fan with it. Now with this snowflake function and the cold function, it's going to start at 57 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 14 degrees Celsius. You press it again, you'll get a flash there. It'll shine a little bit brighter. It's going to be 54 degrees, 12 degrees Celsius, so getting a little bit colder. And then the third function there, when you quick press it, 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 10 degrees Celsius. Now with this cold function, again, you do immediately notice how cold it gets. Again, this isn't going to mimic ice, but it is going to mimic, you know, a frozen spoon or anything else that you might be using, a jade roller, things like that. Now with the cold function, I do recommend moving in an outward motion. So if you're going to be using this under your eye, just move it towards the outer edges of your face. If you're going to go above, you should go above your face, and just gently using this in one individual direction. So sort of rotating up, start on the chin, you can do that as well. Now in this cold function, there's 3 things that they claim that this will help with. The first is decreasing puffiness. The second is reducing dark circles underneath your eyes. And then the third is reducing the appearance of pores. Now same thing with the function that I mentioned on the heat setting. This will go for 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, it will flash on those LED lights and it'll indicate to go to the other side of your face. Now, something that I did find interesting in all of their claims here in terms of what the cold setting and what the warm setting does, it was really based on a study of like less than 70 people. I want to say it was like based on results of 68 people's opinions. So not really a highly enforced study when it comes to the effects of this, but what I will say is that this absolutely feels good. I have used this in the morning just under my eyes just to see how it felt right when I wake up, especially after a late night out. And it does really feel good, and it does, from what I could tell, make that puffiness go away to at least a little bit of a noticeable amount. But like I mentioned earlier, at the core it does at least feel very, very good and very, very relaxing. So I tend to prefer to use the cold setting in the morning and then the warm setting in the evening when I'm applying just a facial moisturizer before I go to sleep. It helps sort of just relieve some of that stress. I like using it up near my temples. I like using it around my eyes. You know, the one function that I really like about eye massagers is when they have that heated function, and this allows you to get that same sort of heated function with it, but really get nice and acute with it wherever those areas are bothering you. You can target individually. So I like to just kind of go around my eyes with that heat setting towards the end of the night. To turn it off, you do just long press the button here again. It'll turn off. Now this is currently priced at $149. It comes with a 1-year warranty. And then the only other setting with it, like I mentioned, is that 6-minute auto off. So with a 38-minute battery, you're gonna get about 6 uses out of it. Obviously that's gonna vary depending on what heat and what cold setting you're using it. It might be slightly reduced there. So that's just a quick recap of this to provide some of my overall thoughts. The first thing that I noticed with it, the very first time I used it, I was so focused in how I was using it, I actually never noticed the flash of the LED light to switch sides. So what I would highly recommend for Therabody to add in the future, or what I'd like them to add in the future, is either a haptic vibration or a beep of some sort, just to indicate when that 3 minutes is up, just so you know when to switch sides. I think of something like my electric toothbrush, how it vibrates and beeps, just to let you know that, you know, you can go from top to bottom. So, you know, if you're not using this in a mirror and you're not paying attention, it can be a little bit difficult just to notice that light start to flash to indicate that you can switch sides. The other thing I wish it did add, just vibration in general. I think the heat setting is great for helping increase lymphatic drainage, obviously based on increasing blood flow to those areas of your face. I do think a gentle vibration would also help with that and just help attract blood flow to whatever area you are trying to just either drain or, you know, get your skin ready to absorb any sort of serums or lotions or balms or anything like that. So just something picky I think they could add. Now, the one thing I will say with this is that it is priced at $149. If you compare this to the Theraface Pro, which is priced at $340, this is essentially just taking the function of the hot and cold ring attachment of that Theraface Pro and making it its own device. So while I do really love the hot and cold function of the Theraface Pro, I also love having that little bit of massage with it. So, you know, in terms of this being worth it, between the two, yes, the Theraface Pro is priced a little bit higher, but I would say you're gonna get a better value with that device because it has all that functionality plus this. Now, I will say that's $340 for that. I don't believe that price includes the hot and cold ring, so you had to add $100 on. So certainly if you're just looking for this functionality, this is a great tool. But really, they took a device that sort of had everything bundled in one and just pulled out one of those attachments. It's sort of like if you were to take the Theragun Pro Plus, which has that cold function, and just put it on a stick and make it big and call it the same thing and charge, you know, $150 for it. So they're just taking one sort of feature of a larger bundled device and making it its own device. So I don't know in terms of the morality or functionality of that in terms of selling this as its own device, but it is certainly nice. It's compact. It is a little bit smaller than that Theraface Pro. It's taller, but generally it is smaller. So just my general thoughts there in terms of comparing those two devices. I think personally, I would stick with the Theraface Pro with the hot and cold rings just because you get a lot more functionality with the red light, the blue light for acne treatment, bacteria treatment. You get the massager, you get the facial cleanser, you get the microcurrent. So there's a lot of different things there that you're getting for what they're charging, really about half the price for the entire device of that just for this. So a little bit of a rant there, but anyways, that is just a quick overview of this depuffing wand. If you guys have questions about it, go ahead, drop it in the comments down below. If you like these facial beauty type recommendation videos and reviews, give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and look for new videos like this. But otherwise, that is the Theraface Depuffing Wand. That's a review. Enjoy your recovery.